too. So,
Oh, dope.
oh,
Okay.
okay. We is live. We 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 live, baby.
New camera swag, in HD now. We
I
ready.
know you're looking nice and crispy.
Crispy. Bit
Uh,
crispy.
no little grains.
None of that.
Mm,
Bye bye old Mac Air. Bye bye 2020 Mac Air. No
there
mas.
we go.
Oh
Logitech.
man, we big things in 2023. I mean,
That's right.
first he got the mic, now he's got the camera. Look at us. Look at God. Look at God, dude.
God did. Amen.
I did.
Well, hello everyone. First things first, if you are watching, um, hit those retweets, hit those quote tweets, let people know where you are, whether that you're watching, that we're here. And secondly, let us know where you're watching from, where you're viewing from. Uh, and then thirdly, this is just like a whole shades of blue thing. Let us know what you're wearing. Take a photo of yourself in your match fit, and tag us at Shades of Blue US. Oh, rocking the photo.
The
Charlie needs a
photo.
ride.
Oh,
He's back. He's back, baby. He's back.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am Crunk Chocolate. I've just been babbling. This Sharpie Charlie's below me. Tom is to my left, right. Hold on, I gotta get used to this. This is weird. My left. I don't know what that is for you guys. Anyway, we are Shades of Blue. We are a Manchester City, U.S. based podcast. As you can tell, no accents. But yeah, we're here to just talk the match. Arsenal pulled away, so they sit comfortably back in first. That is until hopefully we do some work against Nottingham. Uh, let's just get into the lineups. Let's pull the cities up, and we can talk about it. And so we have, let me know, is it up?
yep.
All good.
Cool. Ederson and goal, Walker, Diaz, Laporte is our back line, and then just a bunch of players: Bernardo, Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundo, Foden, Grealish, Haaland, and Alvarez.
No Alvarez. Just how long?
Oh,
Just how
sorry,
long?
no, I was writing down the bench and I put Alvarez too
Oh,
close
okay,
to
gotcha.
the. Sorry, I was trying to say Phillips, Ake, and Alvarez are some of the people on the bench that I would believe we would see. Charlie, let's start with you. How you feeling? You got the Foden on your back. I assume you're a happy camper.
I pulled this out last night and I was like, I have a vibe that he is going to play, especially after coming on against Arsenal. I'm happy that it's on the right. As much as I love Mahrez, I think he is better on the right. Foden's better on the right than the left because he can use all of his abilities
Mm.
versus being sucked into just going to the byline. And then, like, I'm going to give credit for those that listen to the podcast. I've been tough on Diaz and Laporte, but their partnership is amazing. Like them together is just as good as Ake and Akanji together. So I think like you keep that continuity, especially with Walker beside them. And then we'll see. I know we'll talk more about Force's setup, but everything else looks great.
So I think for me, I think what I'm most intrigued about is I think that this lineup pretty much says that Pep believes that Nottingham Forest is going to attack very narrowly, and if you look at their lineup, like the Fat Mob has them sitting in a Christmas tree, basically.
Mm.
Um, so I think he is going to expect Nottingham Forest to attack very narrowly. Michael Cox of the Athletic had a very good article about the Arsenal match and how bringing on Ake really definitely changed the match for City. But it was using the same lineup that we used against Villa because Villa, if you notice, all of their attacks are very, very narrow. They want to come up the center of the pitch. They're not stretching you horizontally. So I think that based off of that, we're going to see a lot of like, I think one of the things that I'm most excited about, especially with Phil starting, is those diagonals from Laporte to Foden and just seeing what he's able to do against Lodi and Shelby. Because I don't think that they'll be able to handle him. I think that the biggest thing is going to be making sure Phil has a good first touch. And then if we're going to need to be adaptable, and if Nottingham Forest does attack us wide, because we're going to have most of the ball, but they're going to be brave, as they've been brave most, like, since they've brought in the new manager. We're gonna need to be adaptable. So we're like, if I don't know if Silva has to drop in and play left back again. We're gonna need to be able to do that, or if Rodri needs to sit in and drop in and play center back. We're gonna push Laporte out wide. We're gonna need to do that. And then maybe make a sub at halftime. We just need to make sure that we're adapting to the game as excuse me, as it goes on.
And can I say something real quick?
Go for it. Yeah.
I was looking specifically, and Tom, everything you said about their setup is perfect. But look at Forest's back line for a second. Left back Lodi, Warwall and Felipe as center backs, and Serge Aurier as a right back. Two Atletico Madrid rejects who are both prone to make mistakes in Lodi and Felipe. I think Haaland is going to have a field day with Warwall, and we saw what he did against Gabriel and Saliba. So now you give him lesser center backs and Warwall and Felipe, and then look at Jack Grealish one-on-one against Serge Aurier. Who you taking? Phil Foden one-on-one against Lodi. Who you taking? Like, I don't understand how we score less than 3 goals. Like, that, if we have less than 3 goals, that is a subpar performance. And after what we did against Arsenal, at Arsenal, going to the City ground, it's called the City ground for a reason. We're gonna make it City's ground today, and I'm very excited.
Hey.
I like that. I like that.
Hey. Oh man, I don't even. And I love y'all. You two, you come in here and y'all brilliant about how teams play and tactics and matchup. And I am truly just vibe master extraordinaire. I don't even know what to expect. I was looking at their outfits when they were coming up to it. I kind of was listening to Pep's pep talk presser yesterday. Everything seemed cool. Again, I don't know. Pepe, I feel like, has opened up so much more this season because for the most part, these last few years, he would kind of let you into his thought process, but you would have to catch him. You'd have to ask maybe like a second and a third question, and then he'd be like, fine. And then he would like go on a rant. But it just seems like he's given it up in every single presser. And I didn't want to play clips, we'll save those for the pod. But Pep was just, we saw Laporte, we saw Foden. Those were like 2 of the things that he said in the press, specifically when he plays certain players, what he's expecting to do on the pitch. And it's one of those things where I think it's really cool that you can tell people what it's almost like chefs. Chefs will tell other chefs the recipe, but you don't necessarily know how things are being put in, how it's being folded, how it's being cut, how it's being prepared. So Pep can be like, yeah, when I play Laporte, we're going to be playing through the left. When I play Foden in the midfield, we're going to be wanting to run up and down. Yeah, Nottingham Forest, they can know what Pep wants to do, but being able to handle it, being able to stop it, that's a whole other trick in itself. And I love it. It, in a way, to me, it feels almost like him still embracing the heel turn because he's just like, yeah, I'm all sorry, language. Yeah, fools. You think you got me, but I'm just gonna do what we're gonna do, and you have to try to figure out how to stop me.
So I think one of the things that you said that was so interesting that just made me think of this. You 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 know what City's going to do based off of who's in the lineup. I would be interested to see since Phil is on the right. Um, I think early in the season we saw like Holland and Phil getting that good run where they were more like playing off like Phil was playing more as like a second striker off of Holland. And I'm wondering if you're going to see more of that, especially because I think you're like we've talked about Pep wanting to have control, particularly in the midfield. So now that you have your four midfielders on the field, you because you're going to have more control because Nottingham Forest is going to give you more control based off of the fact that they're set up in a Christmas tree. I wonder if we'll see more of that. Um, Phil playing more as like the second striker off of Holland, um, and maybe like Jack playing more as like a distributor type of role, and not necessarily and like giving more width on the left.
On One Football, they have us set up in like that 3-2 back, with the four midfielders across in front of Holland. And I think that's, I mean, again, we never know how it's going to be 100% of the time. Like, we're just guessing like everybody else. But I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm more concerned to see how we press. Like, is this going to be a 10 out of 10? Like, we're going after it right away to try to get that early goal and like make them make mistakes because I've noted their back line. Or do we have like more of like a mid block press where we don't let them get too far up and then we attack? Because I like when we press with like four across the front. It'll be like Grealish, Holland, KDB, Foden, and it's like if you play long balls to us, we're going to win those, and now you give us the possession. So the press isn't even to like turn them over in the back in their own end as much as it is to just get the ball quicker without having to work as hard. So I would be shocked if we don't have 2 goals in the first half. Like, that's just they're not going to see the ball. We're going to have at least 65-70% possession. Um, shouts to DT3 in the chat, shouting out your
Yes.
recipe analogy.
Yes.
One time for the legend. But yeah, so I'm expecting goals. And Crunk, I think you called 6. Is that accurate? Am I misspeaking?
Yeah, I did. No, I'm back up. We back up with
I
the
love
6.
It. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm here for it. Everybody scores a goal. You get a goal. You get a goal. You get a goal.
I mean, let's be honest. It's been a while since we've seen an Erling Haaland hat trick, and might be due.
It's time.
Might be due.
I think a hat trick puts him on 29. He's at 26 Premier League goals now. So a hat trick would give him 29. Maybe he gets the 4-piece like Kevin did last year against Wolves. That would be crazy. That would be very, very crazy.
And I really do love the idea of Foden playing like a second striker off of Haaland, because with those long balls that we have been seeing Ederson and Haaland do more, if Foden could time that right, Haaland could just flick the ball on, and that just puts Foden on a one-on-one with the keeper. Hopefully, obviously they probably have a defender that you still have to beat, but I would take his chances on stuff like that. Usually when it's just Foden and a keeper that he has to beat, usually he wins that one-on-one. And then worst case, it gets deflected, and then Haaland's there to clean up the shot.
And I think, Crunk, you had mentioned this in a previous episode of ours that's something that Alvarez does really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be interested to see if for some reason the game does not go the way that we would want. I would be interested to see if we do see Alvarez come on for Foden. I'm excited to see Phil start, but I think that if there are issues, that would probably be the first offensive sub. But usually, like, if there's issue, like if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, it's probably going to be a defensive thing, and then I would imagine that we will see either Rico or somebody else come on.
Okay, so speaking of subs, who do you think would be the first sub to come on? Obviously, this is not barring an injury or something like that.
I'm gonna go with Julian Alvarez for Erling Haaland because we have Champions League on Wednesday. And if not Alvarez, then right behind him or right in front of him, I would say Phillips in for Rodri. I just
Mhm.
think like there has to be like this game is the game you get everybody out by 60, and by everybody I mean Haaland, De Bruyne, Rodri. Like get those three out as soon as possible. You could bring in Phillips, you could bring in Rico Lewis and slide him up, like slide him back to the left back, let Ronaldo come up, like whatever it takes. I would just say like those three need to come out ASAP.
Adam, thank you for your question. Isn't Alvarez a more central player than Foden? The game would have to dictate that change. Yeah. Yes, you are absolutely right. Alvarez it usually does play more centrally. However, we have been using him on the right. Pep has used him on the right several times this season and has used him on the right to play with Holland too. Um, and they've started that combination, and it's actually like I have personally called it City's cheat code because I believe in it that much. I know that other members of the panel have differing opinions of that, but thank you, Adam, for your question. But I think based off of what Charlie was saying, like, yeah, if Alvarez does come on, it probably will be for Holland based off of Champions League because I that kind of left my mind for a little bit.
I know we're back at 2 matches a week. We had that like 3 weeks off where it's
Hmm.
just like 1 match a week. It kind of relax. And so what's also funny, this is a side note, let's talk about the pod. Our episodes got longer when there were just 1 matches a week. And so I'm kind of intrigued to see because our last week we had 2 matches to talk about and it was like an hour and 50 minutes, which is like the shortest episode we've had in a long time. So, do having more matches to talk about somehow makes our episode shorter? I don't know. It's just something I will be paying attention to. All right. Well, we got 13 more minutes. I guess people who are viewing, DT3 Adam, any more questions? Would you guys want to hop on and let us know what you're thinking about the team and maybe a score prediction? I believe you can raise a hand or I can send an invite to you guys, but we'll start with score predictions our way. We talked about it in the pod. I still believe the 6. I believe I maybe even gave Nottingham Forest 1 goal because I just felt bad. I'm taking that 1 goal away. I think it's just going to be just a pasting, a drubbing. Yeah, 6-0.
Oh, Chiron, thank you for your shout. Your more matches equals tighter focus, less digression. That's probably a very good point.
Mhm.
He's
Um,
100% right because you feel like you
yes.
have to get through so much, so you
Hmm.
know, like okay,
Mhm.
we got to be very more concise as a group.
Concise. Hmm.
Oh yeah, no, and I am for sure pulling out all the clips, all the
Yeah.
interview clips.
Um, I know that I predicted 3-0 in this match. I think
Hmm.
that that's still the scoreline that I'm predicting. I think it's going to be a walk in City Park. I don't think it's going to be, super um flashy necessarily, but like I think it's going to be a business trip and City wins handily.
Okay, so a couple things, right? Nottingham Forest is actually 6 points above safety right now. In case people didn't know that, they've actually had pretty good form overall when you think about the lower half of the table. But if you look at their roster, they have really like they have a lot of players injured. Some of their best players out, like Jesse Lingard's out till later February. Taiwo Awoniyi, who's a beast of a striker, he's out till March. Their best keeper, Dean Henderson.
Oh,
That's why
you
they
do?
got Keylor Navas,
Okay, I
which
was
is
gonna
a
say, are
great.
we doing this to Kayla already?
No,
He
no,
just got here.
I'm saying, but like he was a
Yeah.
starter, but like they
Mhm.
got Keylor for that reason, which is a great replacement World Cup. I mean,
Yeah.
Champions League winner. But I think like their most dangerous players are on the bench as far as like the counterattack, which is what we and every other club in the world struggles against. And I don't feel like they're going to take the game to us. They don't have the pace to. So I see 4 for us, 2 in each half, keep it nice and cute. Or maybe 3 in each half with a little late goal. And I think they get 1. I'll give it 4-1.
And Chiron said, if we get 1, we get 4. And that is kind of my
Hmm.
mindset because once we get the
Hmm.
1, then all the players just go, all right, I want to go now too. And so I think, especially if we get 2 early on, then it's just actually, I feel like if we get maybe one or two in the first half, that'll help. And maybe they'll be hungry in the second half because Pep can then sub and there'll be new players and they'll want to score. But if we get like 3-4 in the first half, I think the match will just end 4-0.
We're going to be more ruthless than we were based on this Arsenal result. Because once you know, like, what is how we do in title races? We know we got to keep pace and we go dominate. We don't mess around. I think back to when the pod first started, it was us and Liverpool back and forth. They had a lead. We were trying to walk them down, and we just kept it up. And so, like, I kind of feel bad for Forest because they're getting the best of us right now. People are in form. Everybody's healthy with John Stones. This 11 seems to be Pep working. And I don't think this is just about the Premier League. I think this is also about Champions League because now we're offering a lot of flexibility. Before, for years, it was 4-3-3. That was it. Now we're giving you 4-2-2. We're giving you 3-3-5, 3-5-2. Like, Pep is mixing it up way more than he ever has. But that's to make sure that we are ready for whatever any team can throw at us when we get to Europe. So I think Nottingham Forest, like, they're going to put out effort. The crowd is going to be crazy. If they don't score in the first 15 minutes, I don't see it happening. Like, they will have to do a little shock and awe, kind of like the way Ollie Watkins just got Arsenal this morning or this afternoon in England. But if that doesn't happen, I don't see how they score against us.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam. Adam says, before Charlie's prediction, I was thinking 4-1. We've been struggling with clean sheets since the World Cup. And Adam, you are absolutely correct. We really have it's a, and I'm not sure whether it's a focus thing. I think that as a podcast, we don't necessarily rate Diaz necessarily high as a technical player. However, I do think that the level of focus that he has is probably the highest of the defender group. So I think that having him in the lineup and hopefully having him play a full 90 will in fact lead to a clean sheet. So that's why I am sticking with my 3-0 prediction.
And there's only so much, like, Diaz's energy can be absorbed through the players when he's off the pitch, when he's on the bench and stuff like that. Like, his energy is like, you can feel it. We can feel it all the way here in the US. I know those players on that team feel it, but there's, like I said, watching him do all those slide tackles, flying all around, him and Ake both, like, I feel it's inspirational. It gets the other players going. And that, like you said, Tom, we got to give him. He's grit master. And that's like an awful US word that we use too much, but that's exactly what he is. He's gritty as fuck.
I think in a lot of ways, he reminds me in American football of like Patriots slot receivers. And I think every U.S. football fan knows exactly what I'm talking about, and I will just leave it at that.
Let's just Google the names: Wes Welker, Julian
Edelman, Danny Amendola.
Danny Amendola. Just legends of the game.
Ruben Amendola Diaz. Yes, that's it.
Oh man.
Oh, this is why the chat is great.
Yes,
this is what we need people for. Thank you.
Fantastic. This has been beautiful.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh well. We got 5 minutes before the match starts. I guess we can say our goodbyes because now I have to transfer my office into my living room. So let's go City. We all are predicting a pretty comfortable win. I guess before we go, people in the chats, do y'all got a score prediction y'all want to throw in?
I think Adam said 4-1, and
yes,
DC3 says 5-0. I like that. I like these numbers. I feel like this is one of those get right games, those stat stuffer games that you just say, hey, everybody get your goals up. Goals, assists, goal contributions, Jack. Make it happen. Name a goal scorer. Who do you got? Name your 2 goal scorers. I got Haaland and I got Foden.
Oh, Jack scoring in this match.
Okay, yeah, Jack.
Jack scoring
Jack-
again.
Yes, Jack
Run
is
it up,
scoring
run
his
it up.
match.
Yeah,
Gucci goes.
honestly.
As
yeah,
a matter of fact, Jack scores the first goal.
Ooh, lock
and
that
I
in
got
on your
6.
DraftKings or FanDuel.
So
Okay,
I
Adams.
think, yeah, no, actually, I have no idea. See, I'm so bad at that because I said 6. I was like, I know Holland's gonna get some. I actually think Mahrez is gonna get a goal. I
Off
don't
the
think
Okay, I
bench.
can see that.
yeah, like it's Mahrez is really great at coming on and just like turning it up when
He just
like,
abuses tired defenders. They're
He
they're
really
so fatigued.
does.
It's not fair because he's so slight
Like-
and the feints.
And it's not like he's like using a whole bunch of like he has old man game. Like
Yeah.
he will be able to play. Ooh, I like this. So we got Adam saying that Foden and Grealish will be goal scorers. Chiron is saying also with Gucci and Laporte with a header, which I love that.
He
That's
did score off a
dominance.
corner recently. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, you beautiful people. Well, we will see you next week for whoever we play on this FanFest Live. I probably should have that schedule more ready to go so I can do it. But we'll be posting on our socials. We'll make sure that we tag FanFest Live.
We go to the South Coast. We're going to
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
It's gonna be fun. This is a
Oh,
fun
yeah,
month.
no,
I love February. February's the get right month.
Yes, it
Mhm.
is. So we will see you, everybody else, on these Twitter streets. And let's go, City.
Come on, City.